Hello, I'm Funmi Ajala, and in the next few minutes, I will show you a powerful tool that can make your advocacy more effective, more human, and more likely to drive real change. It is called the ACE model, which is ACE. A stands for ask, C stands for context, and E for emotion. So let's break it down simply. A is for ask. So that is before anything else, get clear on what you are asking for. That is, get clarity on your ask and your messaging. So it's not you say something like, we want better education. That does not really show anything specific, but instead, you are going to put something like, we want the states to increase funding for primary school teachers training by 20% in the 2026 budget. So you can see that this has to do with clarity. They were very clear. The sector of teachers, primary school teacher, and what they want, training, by what percentage, 20, and what year, 2026, and the budgets. So an everyday example is, imagine you're telling your friend, I'm tired. That is actually very vague. But if you say something like, I need you to help me watch the kids for 2 hours this weekend, you've made an ask. So in advocacy, always be specific. People don't act if they don't know exactly what you want. So let's go to the second one, which is C, and C is for context. So this is giving the why. What is the situation? Why are you doing what you're doing now? Why are you asking for this now? So this, it's after the ask. So your C for context is, why are you really asking for what you're asking for now? What is the situation? People need to understand the problem before they care about the solution. So another example we can put for this is, you say something like, only 2 out of 10 rural children have access to qualified teachers and dropout rates are rising. So, you have data to quantify. You're talking about qualified teachers, which is the problem. So there needs to be a solution to the challenge of dropout rates, which is on the rise. So an everyday example could be, you want a new fan in your office. So if you just say, buy me a fan, your boss will likely ignore it. But if you say something like, the office heats 35 degrees centigrade by noon and I can't concentrate, you've given your boss the context. So context turn your ask into a need. So it's very important when you're doing your ask, you put your context, which is why you need what you're asking for at that particular point in time. And the last one is E. E is for emotion. Now, let's bring it home. People are moved by stories, not statistics. That's why you hear here now and then everybody's talking about storytelling. Storytelling. You need to tell the human side. That is, who is affected? What's the impact if they have this thing and if they don't have it? What has been going on? So, an example you can put in your message in something like, Amina, a 12-year-old girl walked 5 kilometers every day to school, but without trained teachers, our dreams of becoming a doctor are slipping away. So this really get deeper. You mix emotion with the context and you ask. So you're asking for better teachers, well-trained teachers, so that in spite of the fact that Amina walks 5 kilometers every day to school, which in itself is already a challenge, she will not lose out because she has good teachers to train her. So an everyday example, we can say, when asking your sibling for support, you might say something like, I'm feeling overwhelmed and I just need someone to show up for me. So it's the emotional connection will get you the results. Your emotions makes your message stick. It is what people remember. People remember stories. They remember things. So when you're putting your ask together, you're putting your proposal, you're putting your conversation together, always try to make sure you have something that stick. So if we now let's put all this together in an example for an advocacy message. Let's say you're advocating for better healthcare in your rural area. So your ask will go something like, we need government to deploy 50 new nurses to rural clinics in 2025. And the context will be, over 60% of rural communities lack access to basic healthcare services. And when you put the motion, you say something like, last month, a mother lost a newborn because there was no nurse on duty within 50 kilometers. That's a message that moves people. So whether you're talking to a friend, policymaker, or on social media, use the ACE model, which is ask clearly, give the context, and tell it with emotion. When you combine the head and the earth, you move people to act. Thank you for watching. I hope this has helped you. Share with someone else who's trying to drive change, and let's make advocacy clear, powerful, and human. Thank you.